allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's meeting will be audiotaped by the Borough Council and videotaped by Mike Kunzelman. This time to take public comment.
Michael Kunzelman. I called PennDOT today about the curb on my property. Well, it's not my property, but along the highway. And I'm telling them we've been having people hitting the curb nonstop. There's about a 4-foot section, and they're telling me that I'm responsible, but then they're not sure. Now they're trying to say the borough is possibly responsible. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention, so when you hear something here in the future of something going on, sorry about that, but because, you know, when we get plowed in, it's covering it. All I requested from PennDOT was a reflector to be put there, just a small indicator that, you know, cars could see it, and they will not do that.
It seems odd that PennDOT designed that right away in the curves as such, and it's causing a problem somehow. All right, that's my comment on that.
Yes, that's.
Thanks for the heads up. Are they getting back to you or what?
They're supposed to get back to me on Wednesday to let me know, but I told them I didn't install the curb. I didn't want the curb there. It's only a 4-foot section, and you know, with everything being covered with ice right now, I did attempt years ago, about 3 or 4, we did put reflectors up, but with the plows coming down, it broke them. So I thought possibly they would provide a reflector.
Who did you talk to?
I believe his name was Brett.
Down here.
Brett or Brent.
Down here.
Yeah, down in Wkcm. And I called the Indiana office as well, and Lee is going to get back to me on Wednesday. So, okay.
Carol Augustine, Cleveland Street. I would like to publicly ask again that when the snow plows go down the alley, if there's driveways on both sides of the alley, if they could please just push the snow even and not have it all on one person's side when it's obvious that both driveways are being used. In other words, they're plowing all the snow on my side. And Cliff, I believe a couple of years ago, I brought you over to see, it was, they just went through, so it was very obvious what had happened. And that happens all
I
the
spoke
time.
to the street department that night.
Okay, and I appreciate that. But now I see it starting to happen again, and
Well, you know, that could come from our new employee, Jeff. You know, he might.
Well, yeah.
no, actually, we watched somebody go up the alley the other day, and it's not the new employee that did it, and just stared us down. So I'm just asking, I'm not saying,
Eddie or Henry, you talk to? Eddie? I'll have Eddie talk to.
I just want it to be split even.
Okay.
Well, generally, whenever you do go down the alley, you should put it straight, but...
They, at the end of the alley, they do, and then they turn it our way.
Okay, but there are times, though, if it's, let's say, pushing the snow like one way or the other, it's gonna go one way or the other, regardless.
But I've watched them,
But I know what you're talking about.
they come in the end of the alley with the plow, even with the truck.
Right.
They get right before our driveway and then turn it towards us.
Talk to you this morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that they plow the alleys, don't get me wrong. I just hate to have to fight the
Yeah, I
alley.
think down to, actually, I wanted to make a statement. I'm gonna do it now, because even with the schedule we're working now, with the winter schedule with the Borough employees, they're doing an excellent job. And if anybody thinks that they're not, go to Ford City or Wkcm.
Oh, okay.
See what they're like.
Yeah.
Ford City's way worse, yeah.
I've been to both places since it snowed, and it's terrible down there. But any other public comment? Joe?
Joe Morris, Wkcm. Is there a brain thought, of what we're going to be doing work-wise this summer? Cleaning sewers, mitigation some of the property lines in the borough right away?
I think Henry can answer that.
Well, we're in the midst right now of making a list up, I'll call it a hit list for spring.
Reason why the northwest corner on First Street in Harrison, that's been plugged for almost 3 years, that's sewer. The road up by Jordan's there across the street where that bridge goes, has that ever been checked? The sewer goes from, what is it, Cleveland or Harrison Street, off to the hillside. Has that ever been opened up and checked?
Probably not, and
We have also,
let me answer this.
go ahead.
You know, I know in the past that there's been things that have, I guess, not been taken care of, catch basins. I mean, myself and Henry, in fact, Henry went around Wkcm with a map, and Wkcm marked catch basins. And me and him were out, well, probably what, October, September, something like that. And we were just in the lower part of town, just from like Cleveland Street down. And we know there's catch basins that are filled clean to the top, and there's some pipes that are plugged, and it needs to be taken care of, because the situation is, if we don't start taking care of our infrastructure, then we're gonna have big bills down the road, because it'll get to the point where we won't be able to take care of it ourselves. But Henry's been on it. He's gonna have a plan for him when the weather breaks to start. We're not gonna be able to do them all, but at least start and get some of them clean and cleaned out, pipes cleaned out, and get them in working order.
You know, we have a nice little neighborhood here, you know. I wish that we could have utilities on the poles. Down here at the corner of First and Butler Road, we have wires hanging for years down there. Over on Residential Avenue, we got a rope that's been there holding cables up from one of the utility companies. You know, we need to clean the borough up, make it a very more eye-catching community. And this should be done, you know, could just write a letter from the secretary or the council president to the utilities, which needs done. We've got necessarily a bunch of gas regulating stations within the borough that need some vegetation cut back, properly attired and tended to. You know, just clean the borough up around. Doesn't take much.
Well, these places that you're talking about, wires hanging down and ropes holding stuff up. But you get with Henry and let them know where they're at.
Yeah, that might be.
They've been around for years, I just don't know why they
Well,
haven't.
Joe, I don't take the time and just ride around and
I
ride
don't
around and
either.
look for things.
I
Do you know
don't
all the
even.
utility companies that they belong to?
Yeah, that'd be useful.
It'll be
I mean,
better
if
to
we
have.
know where they're at, I'll gladly call the utility companies and tell them about it. I mean,
Okay.
that's no big problem.
That's the way you want to handle it then.
I mean, I find out that it's myself, if I keep calling them, it seems to get more accomplished than what you do if you just send them a letter. So once you get with Henry, let Henry know where they're at. And then either Henry can call or I'll call. Any other public comment? Okay, at this time, I'd like to go into a short executive session.
For what reason?
Personnel.
Okay.